Two tires. Both claim to be the best all-weather tire you can buy right now. One has been the undisputed king of this segment for years. The other is brand new, built specifically to take that crown away. Continental Secure Contact AW versus Michelin Cross Climate 2 AW. I have tested both of these tires back-to-back in a professional test environment. Dry, wet, snow, ice, noise, comfort, and value. Every number in this video comes from real test data. No manufacturer bias. No sponsored opinion. Just results. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which tire wins, and which one is right for your specific driving conditions. Let's get into it. Before the fight. What an all-weather tire actually is. If you have been shopping for tires, you have probably seen all-season tires everywhere. Here is the truth most tire shops will never tell you. Most all-season tires are really three-season tires. They perform adequately in dry conditions, reasonably in wet conditions, and dangerously close to useless in genuine winter conditions. The M+S marking you see on most all-season tires means almost nothing. Its only requirement is a certain percentage of void in the tread pattern. No actual snow performance testing required. No winter certification. Just a stamp that implies winter capability without proving it. An all-weather tire is fundamentally different. Both the Continental Secure Contact AW and the Michelin Cross Climate 2 AW carry the 3-peak mountain snowflake marking, 3PMSF. That means both have been independently tested and certified to deliver at least 10% better snow traction than a standard reference tire. That is a real performance requirement backed by real testing. But here is what most buyers do not understand. Every all-weather tire is a compromise by design. Good wet grip, good dry grip, and good winter grip are qualities that directly oppose each other at a chemistry and engineering level. You cannot maximize all three simultaneously. Every manufacturer makes deliberate choices about where to prioritize performance and where to accept less. Understanding those choices is how you find the right tire. And it is exactly what this test reveals. Both tires carry a 60,000-mile tread wear warranty. Both are genuinely usable year-round. The question is not whether they work. The question is which one works better, and in which conditions. Round 1 begins now. Round 1. Snow and ice. Who performs when conditions get dangerous? If there is one round where the Michelin Cross Climate 2 AW has built its entire reputation, it is this one. And the test data confirms that reputation is earned. In snow braking, the Continental Secure Contact AW came in 1.4% behind the Michelin. In snow traction, the two tires tied completely. Neither tire had an advantage. In snow handling, the Continental was 2.3% behind. On paper, those gaps look small. And they are. Both tires finished ahead of every other all-weather tire in the snow testing. But Michelin wins this round consistently across every snow metric, and that consistency matters when conditions are genuinely dangerous. Ice is where the gap becomes more meaningful. In ice braking, the Continental was 1.6% behind. In ice traction, the gap widened to 6.7% in Michelin's favor. That is a real and measurable difference in the most demanding winter condition you will encounter on public roads. Michelin's V-pattern tread design is a significant part of why this tire performs the way it does in winter. The V-pattern delivers outstanding snow evacuation and ice-biting performance, and critically, it allows Michelin to run a softer compound without sacrificing the pattern stiffness that other conditions require. It is genuinely clever engineering, and the numbers prove it works. Round 1 winner. Michelin Cross Climate 2 AW. Consistent snow advantage. Clear ice advantage. If winter is your biggest concern, this round settles the argument. Round 2. Wet performance. This is where everything changes. Here is where Continental made its clearest statement with the Secure Contact AW, and where this fight gets genuinely interesting. In wet braking, the Continental was the best tire in the entire test. Not just ahead of the Michelin. Best overall. 1% ahead. In wet handling, the Continental again took the top position, 3% ahead of the Michelin. In wet circle testing, the Continental led once more. That is a clean sweep of the standard wet performance metrics. For drivers who deal with heavy rain, frequent wet roads, and mixed conditions where water is a more common threat than snow, The Continental's wet performance advantage is directly relevant to real-world safety every single week. The one area where the Continental stepped back was deep water aquaplaning. In the hydroplaning evaluation, the Continental showed slightly more vulnerability than the Michelin. That V-pattern tread design that wins Michelin the snow round also evacuates deep standing water exceptionally well. Drivers in regions with heavy tropical rainfall and standing water should note that specific result. But across normal wet road conditions, the conditions most drivers encounter most of the time, the Continental Secure Contact AW is the stronger and safer performer. Round 2 winner, Continental Secure Contact AW. Wet braking, wet handling, wet circle, clean sweep. This round goes to Continental, and it is not particularly close. If this fight is changing how you think about your next tire purchase, hit subscribe, because the next round covers the dry performance result that surprised everyone in the test. Round 3. Dry performance. One clear Michelin advantage and one surprise. Dry braking is where the Michelin Cross Climate 2 AW has always separated itself in this segment. And the test data confirms it again, with a gap that is impossible to dismiss. The Michelin posted a 5% dry braking advantage over the Continental. In a segment where tires are typically separated by 1 and 2% margins, 5% is a significant lead. In emergency braking on dry pavement at highway speeds, that difference translates to real stopping distance. For drivers in warmer regions where dry roads are the dominant condition, California, Texas, the Southwest, Florida, this is a meaningful safety consideration. But here is the surprise. In dry handling, the two tires essentially tied. The Continental was actually more balanced through the handling course, and lap times were so close as to be statistically equal. The Michelin's dry braking advantage does not extend into overall dry handling capability. What this tells you is that the Continental Secure Contact AW is not a soft, compromised tire that sacrifices dry performance for winter grip. It handles dry roads with real confidence. It just cannot match the Michelin's emergency stopping performance on dry pavement. Round 3 winner, Michelin Cross Climate 2 AW. That 5% dry braking lead is too significant to overlook. Michelin takes this round clearly. Dry handling is a tie. Round 4. Noise and comfort. The daily driving reality. This round does not decide safety, but it decides how much you enjoy your car every single day, and for most drivers that matters more than they admit when shopping for tires. In noise and comfort testing, the Continental Secure Contact AW delivered a measurably quieter and more comfortable ride than the Michelin Cross Climate 2 AW. The difference is not dramatic, but it is consistent and real. On long motorway drives and daily commutes, the Continental's refinement advantage is something you feel every trip. There is also a practical rotation advantage worth noting here. The Continental uses an asymmetric tread pattern. That means you can cross-rotate the tires, front left to rear right and vice versa, allowing for more even wear across all 4 tires over the life of the set. The Michelin uses a directional pattern. Directional tires can only be rotated front to rear on the same side. You cannot cross-rotate them. Over 60,000 miles, that rotation limitation can result in uneven wear patterns that reduce the effective life of the set. For drivers who are disciplined about rotation schedules, the Continental's asymmetric pattern is a genuine long-term advantage. Round 4 winner, Continental Secure Contact AW. Quieter ride. More comfortable daily driving. Better rotation flexibility. Continental takes this round cleanly. Round 5. Value. The number that decides it for most buyers. Both tires carry a 60,000-mile tread wear warranty. Both are comparable in long-term durability expectation. The performance gaps between them are real, but none of them are enormous. So purchase price becomes a genuinely important factor in this decision. In a 225/50/17 fitment, a set of 4 Michelin Cross Climate 2 AW tires costs approximately $850. A set of 4 Continental Secure Contact AW tires costs approximately $740. That is over $100 saved on a single set of 4 tires with identical warranty coverage. Over 2 or 3 sets of tires across a decade of driving, that price difference compounds into several $100s. For a tire that wins the wet performance round, ties in dry handling, loses narrowly in snow, and delivers better comfort and rotation flexibility, that $110 saving represents genuine value. The rolling resistance comparison between these two tires is still pending final data. Rolling resistance directly affects fuel economy over the life of the tire. There is no indication the Continental will be at a significant disadvantage here, but that data point is worth confirming before making a final decision. Round 5 winner, Continental Secure Contact AW. Same warranty. Lower price. Better daily value. Final verdict. Which tire wins overall? Here is the scorecard. Michelin wins snow. Michelin wins ice. Michelin wins dry braking. Continental wins wet performance. Continental wins noise and comfort. Continental wins value. Dry handling is a tie. 3 rounds each. 1 tie. This fight is genuinely close. So here is the honest answer based on everything in this test. If maximum winter performance is your priority, if you live somewhere with heavy snowfall, frequent ice, and serious cold where winter conditions are your most dangerous driving situation, buy the Michelin Cross Climate 2 AW. It is still the strongest all-weather tire in snow and ice. That lead is consistent and real, and it matters when conditions are genuinely dangerous. If you live somewhere with mixed conditions where wet roads are as frequent as snow, where you value a quieter daily ride, where you want full rotation flexibility, and where saving over $100 on a set of tires is a real consideration, the Continental Secure Contact AW is the stronger overall package. Its wet performance lead is genuine. Its value advantage is significant. And it is close enough to the Michelin in winter conditions that the vast majority of drivers in the vast majority of regions will not notice the difference in real-world use. The all-weather segment has genuinely raised the standard for what year-round tires can deliver. Both of these tires are outstanding. The difference between them is a question of priorities, not a question of one being good and one being inadequate. Know your conditions. Know what round matters most for where you actually drive. Buy accordingly. Drop a comment below telling me your region and your typical driving conditions, and I will tell you exactly which of these tires make sense for your situation. If this comparison helped you make a better decision, hit like and subscribe. Because the next tire test covers a segment where the price differences are even bigger and the performance gaps are even more surprising.